That's right, the Magicycle. I've had a lot of people ask about this bike. Brand new to the market, but based on the specification, everyone wants to know if it's any good. Particularly if I gotta be, if I gotta use a comparison, a lot of people looking at the Rad Rover Anyway bikes are looking at these. Some of the Aventon bikes that I've reviewed would probably be in line with this as far as price and specs and everything. So I finally got one. I've ridden it around, and yeah, I'm excited. So a couple of things. First, they were kind enough to agree that if I did a couple of videos, I could give one away. So one bike for me here to review and test ride, and they would send another one to a lucky winner. So we are going to do a giveaway for these bikes. We'll send out emails and everything. Make sure you're on our email list and all that good stuff. We'll make sure it's clearly shown on the giveaway page of our website and everything. I have to apologize to Magicycle. I did say I would do a recorded unboxing style video, and my guys in the back just were too fast, and they unboxed the bike, prepped it, and got it ready for me before I could actually record it. So you don't get to see the unboxing process. However, I think what would be better, even than that, is a head-to-head video, because I have all three bikes here, is a Magicycle versus a Hemingway versus a Rad Rover, all side by side by side. And I have all bikes here to do that with. So it just makes sense. So if you guys want to see that, let me know. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave a note in the comments, in the chat if you're watching live. Let me know if you want to see a Magicycle versus Hemingway versus Rad Rover video. And I think, based on your comments, that Magicycle will be very pleased with what you guys want to see. So there's my thoughts on that. Let's jump into some of the questions here. Patrick, yes, you were a little early. I saw that, but hey, you're here. And I did post like a little trailer thing showing off their factory, because that was one thing they wanted me to share with you, is that they are factory direct. Now, this isn't like a direct to consumer business model like some of the other companies I mentioned, where they get bikes from overseas and then they ship them direct to customers without dealers. The claim is, according to their website and everything they sent me, is that this is Magicycle's factory. They're building the bikes, and they're doing everything from manufacturing all the way up to shipping the bikes out to customers. And if so, that is actually a little bit unique. That also would explain the very aggressive price point and all the things that they're doing. So really interesting. So hopefully that little trailer thing I put up before the live, if you were here early enough, worked, and you could watch that. Just a short little video clip. If you missed it, it's on their website and their YouTube channel. I also put up a community post here on YouTube with some of the photos. So wanted to make sure that you guys saw that. James, thank you for reviewing the Magicycle, he said. Well, not James, thank you, but James says thank you for reviewing the Magicycle. You're welcome. And let's see. Magicycle. It's funny, somebody's commenting about it, kind of fly on a broom. Hey, it's a perfect name for the October month here, isn't it? Sergio, hello. Angel, hello. Can you adjust the volume of your mic? Oh, they said there you go. I didn't change anything. Hopefully, my sweater's not covering up the microphone. Okay. And Sergio, oh, here we go. I was the first one in the U.S. to get my Magicycles too. To hear what Kyle thinks. Well, we would love to hear what you have to say, Sergio, as an owner who has most likely put a lot more miles on it than I have in my test rides. So hopefully you can help answer any questions. Afternoon, hi, hey, hello. Let's see. Can you get the hoodie with the bike as well? You can't have this one This is actually from Bike Tricks, so it's terrible branding for me, I know. I'm Bolton E-Bikes YouTube channel. I sell Bolton E-Bikes, but I got a Magicycle and a Bike Trick sweater on. But the reason I wear this is they sent it to me because I sell some of their bikes, and they know how to make a sweater because they're up in Canada. This thing's nice and cozy. You can't have it, it's mine. I do have Bolton E-Bike sweaters on my website, though. Richard, a new member. Thanks for joining the channel. Ask away if you have any questions, and everybody is already saying welcome to Richard. You guys are great. Chris, no, the Magicycles aren't assembled out of the box. They're just like any other e-bike where you've got to put the front wheel on, front fender, tighten up the handlebars. So very little assembly. Put the pedals on. Mine was assembled out of the box because my guys in the back grabbed it and assembled it for me. Bradley, does it have quick disconnect electrical wiring connections? I think what you're going to see on this is just like all of the other bikes these days. These Roulette style, Hygo brand, something like that, little waterproof connectors. So yes, I guess the answer to your question is yes. And let's see. Yes, Sergio confirms it there since he has two of these. Just need to put the front tire on and handlebars. NMC says, now I'm trying to scroll through my comments and I just missed it. He said something about wanting a Lancer. I got those in stock. So if you want one, you can get one right now. Richard, hey, there's your comment. Awesome. I'm going to tilt this so I'm not so far off the side of the camera. Richard says, I just joined. I want you to convince me to buy my next e-bike from you and not Rad. Well, that's an easy one to answer. Do you want to save money on your purchase up front, buy a Rad Power bike, and then decide that it needs more power, spend $229 from me for a Rad Power upgrade kit, more for a battery, more for upgrade on brakes. By the time you upgrade everything you can upgrade on a Rad, you could have bought, something like our Blackbird or a Lancer. So, but if you don't upgrade it, it is cheaper. Slower, but it's cheaper. Doesn't stop as well, but it's cheaper. So that's, everything's built to a price point. The Magicycle is here to compete with Rad. Is it programmable? That's on things that I will cover. Angel, what's the phone number? I have serious questions. Is this for Bolton e-bikes or for Magicycle? We do have a phone number listed on our website at boltonebikes.com. Chris, holy cow, it's sunny. Well, yes, it is. It is a little chilly, but it is sunny here in Northern California still. Awesome. And just another note, had a good day at the Sea Otter Classic bike event yesterday. Was there all day. Saw a lot of really cool new e-bike related things. There are some products I will be carrying that I saw there. Some things that I already knew about, but was going there to check them out in person. Maybe even some different brands of bikes themselves. So it was a good event. I got a ton of footage I'm going through. You guys are going to see all of that soon. I just got to keep working through and editing all that footage because it was go, nonstop all day. And James wants to know if you could put hydro brakes on this bike and will I sell them? I do sell the Juentech hydraulic calipers. A full hydraulic system is probably not going to be available for a little while. Really hard to get anything outside of just for production purposes. Brakes have crazy long lead times. But there's something unique about these brakes on the Magicycle that we are going to cover in just a little bit. So there we go. Angel, I see you're a bike enthusiast, want a better option. I hate needing to upgrade. Well, basically, if anybody else has a Bolton e-bike in the chat, they can probably answer that. What I try and do is design e-bikes that are upgraded from the start, so you don't have to. They're already ready to go. They have all the good stuff you were going to put on it anyway. Magicycle, I think, has tried to do the same thing. They've tried to make this bike better than the competition so that you're like, wow, it's got this, and the other guys don't have that. So let me show you what those are, because at first glance, this looks just like any other fat tire 750 watt rear hub motor bike. Honestly, the design looks like a Rad Rover. It looks like a Hemingway. It looks like all of those other brands, but it isn't. Um, let's just start with the motor. It feels powerful. It takes off pretty quick. Doesn't feel overrated or anything. So power is good. And part of that is going to come from this right here. It, well, they have it painted right on the bike. It's spoiling what I was going to tell you. Check it out right here. See what that says right there? I'm holding the camera way sideways, but if you to roll. So whereas basically everybody else in this space is running a 48 volt battery, they have gone up to a 52 volt battery. Now, does a 52 volt give you anything more than a 48 volt? It depends. Sometimes it actually just doesn't do anything at all for you. But in this case, they're running a similar motor as the other guys, similar controller, but it's got a couple things up the sleeve, it looks like. But when you put a 52 volt battery from the start, it just gives you a little bit more punch on the power. You can get a little more wattage out of the motor if you want. And because you're running a higher voltage, you can get a little more RPM out of the motor. So I don't recall, this is why we'll have to do a side-by-side video, I think, later, the top speeds of all the other bikes. But I would say that the Magicycle is faster than some of them, for sure, on the top end. It is limited to 20 miles an hour out of the box, but you can reprogram it. So even though it's at 20, you can change it to 28, which, of course, is what I have already done. Because I'm getting other people saying their sound. Some people, if more than one person is saying my sound quality is weak, there must be an issue. Some people are saying you can hear me just fine. I'm going to press a button, and if any luck, I won't lose you. We'll see what happens here. Volume. That's as good as my sound is going to get. Hopefully that works. Okay. Yeah, the Blackbird's already upgraded. Would 5 foot 1 inch be too short for the step through? I don't actually have the step through here to try, so I don't know. My first impression would be that the step through is still going to be a pretty big bike, so I don't know if it's going to be a great fit. Probably depends on how comfortable you are on and off the bike. I wish I had the step through to give you a better opinion on that, but I'm not 100% sure. Hey, Kyle, that hoodie's messing with your mic. What it probably is the fact that I normally have a little lapel mic clipped on here, and I may have misplaced it between Sea Otter Classic, getting home late last night and this morning. So don't worry, we'll fix it. If you want, we'll just do this here. All right, I know this is a little bit of a delay. You guys tell me if the audio is better if I hold the mic right up to right up to my face here. All right, Nathan, we got another new member. Awesome. Glad to have you. Thanks for joining. And ask away if you got any questions again in the live chat. So we're gonna keep moving here, answering questions. All right, I got new comments down here. I gotta keep scrolling down. You guys are going fast. That's good. I don't know what it's not connected means. We'll come back to that. How are you doing? Okay, we got people pulling in too. I'm doing a live video review right now. So, well, I'm just letting you know. If you step this way, you're gonna be on camera and everybody will see you. Yeah, no problem. So we're reviewing this bike right here. Okay, cool.
I guess I'll just pull up here and park.
Sounds great. Oh, some people. Well, if I'm using the computer mic, that could be a problem. I want the microphone. I want you guys to be able to hear me. All right. Communications. No, we are on. We are on the little microphone in my hand right now. So, it's. Don't worry. We'll keep it going. All right. So, Magicycle. Let's get back to the bike. 52-volt battery, 15 amp hour capacity, 750-watt motor. And I mentioned the controller had kind of a little thing it could do. I noticed when I turned the display on, went to the settings, because I quickly found out it was capping out at 20 miles an hour. But I could crank it up to 28. Well, I found that you can adjust a lot of other things in addition to that. And I should probably just show you that. So, yeah, you guys are probably right that when I turn a certain way, the microphone doesn't pick me up as well. But I got to have my hands free, so we're going to do this. All right, so I'm going to move the camera over here to where we can see the display. And we're going to go through some of these settings here. So let's bring this guy down and see if we can position the bike in the right spot. Hello, camera. Hopefully the glare isn't too bad and you can see this display. It's off right now. Let's turn it on. And let's see how that looks. It might be a little far away. Can you zoom in on there a little bit? There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Awesome. The little fuzzy mic not working. I don't know. You guys are telling me you can't hear me. That is so weird because it says my audio is connected. Okay, we're going to try this. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. All right, I need your help in the live chat. Tell me if the audio is improved after saying 1, 2, 3. Say something, I don't know what to say. Say Bolton e-bikes in the chat if it's much, much louder now. If it's not, say banana. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, cool. I think we fixed it. Yes. Yes, yes, improved. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys, for being patient with me. All right, technical issues. All right, here's the display. Color. So $15.99 bike, color display. You have 5 levels of assist. Press the middle button. We've got odometer, max speed, average speed, riding time, trip, the usual stuff, right? Obviously, I haven't ridden it very far at all. Just enough to get my first impressions on it. Now, if we hold down, I think it is the up, plus, and minus buttons. There we go. Now we have our options. So you can set the wheel size. Here's the speed limit. So you can see I changed it to 28 miles an hour. We got brightness on the display. Voltage. That's kind of interesting. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like you can actually change the voltage for each one of these little bars. That's pretty cool. Not too many displays do anything in that much detail. So that's interesting. So you actually know when it hits a certain bar what voltage you're at. Now here you've got advanced settings, probably not things you want to mess with. Current limit, I'll admit, was set a bit lower. I cranked that all the way up as much as it would go. And then you've got, your basically your timer for when this display goes off. But you can change in the advanced settings a
assist adjustment. I didn't mess with those yet. Power settings, I assume you can change multiple levels of assist. There's a slow start setting, so it can kind of ease the power on. So I haven't messed with all of these, but I did crank the power and amperage up, and definitely noticeable improvement in the speed. I was doing a quick test on it, and just going on flat ground, I got it up to about 27 miles an hour, just on throttle only, maybe a little more. If I mess with tire pressure or something, I might even get a tiny bit more out of it. So 28 miles an hour, depending on tire pressure, rider weight, not unreasonable. Very possible it would do 28 miles an hour. Now my battery says it's 100% charged. I believe I charged it all the way. Oh, and we're still zoomed in. Way zoom back. There we go. That's better. So very clean looking screen, and handlebars are great. Yeah, handlebars go up a lot. It's a pretty comfy position. So decent power. I like it. The 52 volt, I think it gives an edge maybe over the Hemiway, and definitely top speed bump compared to those other bikes. Now, talking about stopping, that's where we have to look closely at the brakes. Now, this is going to be a little tricky to get in there and see this, but I'm going to do my best. This is where we need the cameraman, but we don't have one of those. It's just, you just got to deal with me. All right, I'm going to zoom in right there. That's not going to work. That's right. The camera's coming off the tripod. Okay, now we're going to zoom back out, and I'm just going to bring it in nice and close to the rear brake here. This is where I said something was different. So they, on their website, said it was a dual action mechanical brake. So I was like, I think I know what that means. So normally with a brake like this, when you pull the brake lever and this cable gets pulled down, this comes in, the outside pad moves in and makes contact with the rotor. The inside pad that's towards the wheel is stationary. So basically you're moving this side and pushing the rotor over and then sandwiching together to get it to stop. Not on this one. On this one, I'm going to try and see if I can get it to where you can actually see this. If we pull the brake, and it's going to be real tricky to spot that, but it actually moves both pads. So you're actually moving each side in. There's a few brands like this, not many. It does the same thing on the front, but it's going to be hard to see on camera. But effectively, what you've got is more even pad wear and a little bit better braking by doing it that way. Now, is it as good as hydraulic brakes? No, not quite. But is it better than the mechanical brakes that come on most bikes? Yes, I would say so. So just a little upgrade or improvement versus, again, the competition. So that's one of those little things they did. So far we got 52 volts, a little more voltage than the other guys. The controller can be adjusted. We can adjust the speed limit. We can adjust the amperage up a little bit. And we've got better brakes, in my opinion. So those are all good things out of a bike at this price range. Sergio says, because he's got two of these, brakes are an issue, that they're noisy. Depends on how many miles you got on the bike, how the pads have been broken in. So make sure you've got those pads seated in nicely. If they're new, noisy could be caused by a lot of things. Hopefully, that's just an adjustment thing. Oh, and Sergio says, and gift package. You can tell us what you got with your bike in the chat. I see for the next couple of days, they were throwing in a bunch of things with the bike. We're talking hats, bag on the back, water bottle, whole bunch of extra stuff. Uh, Annie, no, the handlebar stem is not adjustable, but the handlebars have a really tall rise to them. So it's pretty upright as it is, but there is no adjustment. So you either like where it's at, or you can always add an adjustable stem to make it more comfortable. The other stuff's pretty standard nowadays. It's got a front headlight. The shock has a lockout and a preload adjustment. So pretty basic fork. For the rear, it does come with the rack and the fenders, of course. It does have a working brake light. So you got a tail light on there. So that's good. Here, point that down. That is the tail light. The rack, everything feels just fine. Subtle detail I liked. This is just me being picky about things now. Is the frame. If you go look at a Hemiway, because it uses basically the same battery, and this is true for a lot of e-bikes, the battery kind of hangs over the side of the frame. This just looks, it doesn't do anything functionally. But they went through the effort to actually widen the frame, if you look at this, so it matches the curvature and the outline of the battery. Something you probably would never even notice unless you put this bike and a Hemiway side by side. Then you'd be like, oh, that frame is made for that battery. Like, that looks really nice. So small detail, very subtle, just a little thing. These do have the puncture resistant tires from Kenda, like the Rad Power bikes use. They're not puncture proof. You can still get a flat. I'd still throw some flat out in it, but at least they're trying to do something out of the box for you there. Let's see what other questions. E-Rider. What is it? This looks like an e-bike thing. So, hey, it looks like you just joined the channel. Thank you. Ask away in the chat if you got some questions or comments about the bike. Oh, Sergio got a hat and a frame bag with his bike. Bill asks, what's the expected delivery time? Their website right now says October. If you are thinking of buying one of these, if you found this review because you're looking for the Magicycle, check in the description of this video, because the bike is $15.99, but I have a coupon code, and I'm going to put it on screen right now. There we go. Bolton, all caps, 100. That's the coupon code. If you use that, I checked it right before I went live to make sure it's working. That will give you $200 off on the bike. So that brings it down to $13.99. So, but you have to make sure to follow the link below this video. That's so they know who sent you, and use that coupon code. And then you're getting a really good deal, $13.99 for this bike. Yes, the brake light is activated by pulling the brakes. Sergio says you can pick these up in Ontario, California. So I didn't know that pickup was an option. And Bill says, I bought one when it was $13.99. I had a $100 off code. Yeah, the prices on everything have gone up. So I doubt you're ever going to see that again. I would be highly surprised. Shipping's gone up. Everybody's raised their prices on e-bikes, $100, a couple $100, some of them even more. Now, here's a random question, since we're talking about pricing. This is not related to this e-bike whatsoever, but because I was at the Sea Otter Classic yesterday looking at bikes, what would you guys say the average price was for an electric bike at the show yesterday? So this is in Monterey with all the big name brands. You got Specialized, you got the Treks out there. What do we got out there? Diamondback. There's some full suspension companies like YT Industries, Intense. They just make these awesome carbon fiber e-bikes. There was a new Swiss company there that I was able to interview. I want your guess in the chat. What was the average price for like a full suspension mountain bike? We're getting some guesses coming in. Let's see. Bradley says 6,000. Annie says 14 to 1,200. Sergio 17.99. Wendy says 25.50 average. Let me give you some more qualifications. Paul says 24.99. Jerome says 4,500. These were mid-drive, usually Shimano or Bosch powered. So like 250 watt continuous power. Some of them had a 500-watt peak. That was it. Dawn says 3,000. Annie changed to 3,500. Bob says $4,000. Patrick says 6Gs. A lot of great guesses here. I could definitely count on one hand the number of bikes in that description that were under 5,000, but endless bikes for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, $12,000. I would say the average was probably about $8,000. It was crazy. I don't know who's buying those bikes. We don't carry anything like that, but just it was insane how many bikes were in the like $8,000 to $12,000 range. They were everywhere. Now, I'll admit they looked really, really nice, but for that kind of money, I agree with Jerome. Ouch. E-Rider says American made. No, I actually still don't know of an American made bike. Probably the most American assembled or made thing I saw there, which I made a video on, was the Christini all-wheel drive fat bikes, because they did a lot of assembly and things here, but they still had a lot of parts made overseas. So that was one of them. Maybe there was something else there, but no, these are still bikes made overseas. Most of these are not fat tire bikes. It was crazy. So when you see bikes like this Magicycle at $1,600, I mean, you can buy one for, $1,400 with a coupon code. Just it's a crazy deal. You can have so much fun on something like this. So if you guys, Bradley saying his neighbor has a carbon, not an e-bike for 8,000. That was like the average out there. It was nuts. So it was crazy. And Timothy says the 11,000 bikes skew the average. I would say they weren't skewing it at all. Just walk up to any booth, pick a bike. It was $8,000. That was almost every single one. Finding a bike at $5,000 or under was incredibly difficult at a trade show full of bicycles. Now, there were e-bikes everywhere, which was awesome, but it was crazy. Well, let me know at this point if you guys have any last remaining questions about the Hemiway before we wrap this up. I think the only thing left to do for me at this point is just take it for a quick little ride. Hey, Bradley, if that's pocket change, then I got a few bikes I can sell you, let me tell you. We're going to turn the bike on and just give it a spin here. So this is pedal assist 1 right here, and takes off. No problem. That was pedal assist 1. Now you can adjust the assist settings, how powerful they are. But this thing goes. It moves pretty good. Laughs. No, you should not compare this to a $7,000 mid-drive. There's a huge difference in the quality, the components, the suspension. But I think for a fun factor, then you should compare it. Are you going to have as much fun on something like that? Yeah, if you're a mountain biker who likes to do crazy trail riding, obviously that's going to be the better tool for the job. But I don't think that's what most people are buying. So lots of cool, tons of fun to look at, but obviously not for everybody, not for that price anyway. So again, here's the Magicycle. There's a link to buy one in the description if you want to do that. I have no official affiliation other than they sent me this bike for a review. We're going to run a giveaway too. And I'm going to do a follow-up video between this, the Hemiway, and the Rad Rover. I think that's going to be a ton of fun. I think we can set up some little challenges, do some real good side-by-side comparisons between all 3 bikes, and see what happens. So, James, I do not have a phone number, at least on me, for Magicycle. I might have one in the emails. I don't know if they've got one on their website, but that's something I would have to look into. So awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining the chat. Yeah, the handlebars are real upright and comfortable. This is how the bike sits. With me about 5'10". Hopefully that gives you an idea of what the feel is like, what the ride's like. Yeah, as the sticker says on the bike, please wear a helmet when riding a bike. Which is, oh, wait a second. Who was asking for a phone number? Somebody. James. Okay, I got it. Look at this, James. I found a phone number for you. You're going to laugh when you see this. I laughed when I saw it. There's a sticker on the bike right here, which says, I'm tangled in my cord right here. I'm fixing that. Right here. Warning, please wear a helmet when riding a bike. Failing to do so could result in serious injury or death. Well, that's not the funny part. But for support, call 626-332-1961. So there's a phone number right on the bike. I'm assuming they're not saying use that phone number if you crash and you didn't wear a helmet. That's probably for technical support. So you should probably call a different number if you have a crash. So there you go. Ebike Products is saying they don't have a phone number. So I apologize, Magicycle, if that is a support phone number only for customers. That may be completely what it's reserved for, but there is a phone number on the bike itself. So I would guess if it's for support, you're probably going to get a better response if you go through their email or their Facebook page. So awesome. Let's see. Cool. Paul, thanks for joining. And I'll see you guys on another live video, I'm sure. And again, stay tuned. Hit subscribe if you aren't already. I've got a bunch of videos that are going to be rolling out from everything I saw at the Sea Otter Classic. Some of those are going to be pretty cool. You're not going to want to miss them. Thanks. And don't forget over there, use that coupon code for $200 off on a Magicycle. Thank you. And I will have helmets soon. Goodbye.